A first look at that forecast with Skylar Spindler. Good morning, Skylar.
Good morning. Yeah, a little sort of clear. So here's a look at the satellite radar over the last couple hours. Now, Providence has been looking pretty clear right now. However, we still have some of this thunderstorm activity moving onshore. So if you are located around Newport or moving up into the New Bedford area, this is tracking along in this direction. So Providence, yes, you are clear this morning. We're clear here at our ABC6 studios, but you can kind of see this starting to move across the area. So this will be moving, kind of take a little bit of a bigger look of what's going on. So we just have a lot of unstable air outside, and so that's just helping with this system move through the area. We're going to keep this around for much of the day today. Providence is 69 degrees. Winds are out of the south-southeast at about 7 miles an hour this morning. So here's a look at those temperatures as you're waking up. So a lot of upper 60s and already in the 70s, 73 in Norwood, 72 in Taunton, 68 in Newport as that rain is coming onshore. So here's what we can expect as we head into the morning hours. So some scattered rain. Again, you saw that big system I was showing you. That's going to be making its way across shore here in just a couple of hours. And then a lot of this should move out. That'll leave us with a little bit of scattered pop-up little showers here and there. Maybe an isolated thunderstorm or two getting into those 70s today. So we'll see temperatures ranging around the coastline and those upper 60s, low 70s. And as you head further inland, we'll be warming up. Some of us will even get up almost to 80 degrees today. We'll stay mostly cloudy. We'll have a couple of those scattered showers around the area, keeping the winds out of the south. If you're heading to Block Island, maybe you're thinking about going there. Here's a look at the Block Island hourly forecast. As you head through the day, I'm going to have more details on your forecast coming up here in just a moment.
Meteorologist Skylar Spindler for a look at your forecast. Hey, Skylar.
You know, here's what we've been looking at in the overnight hours. So we're starting to see some of these showers push across shore. So if you're in the Newport area, New Bedford area, here's what the live radar is looking like right now. So we do have some thunderstorms moving across. You're probably catching some rumbles of thunder as it's heading across New Bedford area, just to the west of New Bedford, actually towards Fall River. Newport, you're getting that coming on shore, even over here in South Kingstown. So we do have this line that's moving across the area. Providence, you're looking about staying dry. This is just staying just to the east of Providence. You can kind of see the direction that this is moving in. This will be moving across the area, and look at the larger scope of this. So here's what's going on. We have all this instability in the atmosphere here. So this large area is really just in control of what's going on with these scattered showers moving into the area. So as we start to head into the morning hours, we'll get what's left over of that cell and that activity moving through the area this morning. A couple of scattered showers left over. It'll start to move on out. We'll be left with a lot of clouds for the day. We'll get some peaks of sunshine throughout the day, seeing those temperatures in the 70s as we get into the afternoon hours. However, we will start to see just a little bit more of those pop-up thunderstorms and showers moving through the area. So we could catch this line moving through later on after about 6 o'clock today. So we'll still keep an eye on that and the direction that that's heading. So forecasted highs for the day, most of us seeing those upper 70s, a couple of us hitting the 80-degree mark out there, but not bad overall. New Bedford, here's a look at your 4-day forecast. Not too bad. Temperatures on the rise. Humidity levels are going to be sticking around with us. You'll see that 80 degrees by the time we get into Friday. Saturday, we have the morning showers moving in, 78 degrees. I'm going to have more details on your full forecast coming up here in just a moment.
Taking a look outside this morning just before 5:10 at Thurber's Ave, you can see some raindrops starting to hit that sky. A little bit of a
Meteorologist Skylar Spindler.
Well, we're waking up this morning with some more scattered showers and thunderstorms moving through the area right now. This is the satellite radar over the last couple of hours. You can kind of see how those are just moving back in, just like we saw yesterday morning. Not as heavy, though. Here's a look at the live radar on exactly just how large this is as it's moving through. It's moving at about 35 miles an hour right now. So as we zoom in over here towards Newport and North Kingstown, this one's just moving ashore. And again, like I said, it is moving at about 35 miles an hour. So South Kingstown, you're probably getting some rumbles of thunder right now. If you guys are heading out the door, making your commute, give yourself a little time right now because we're getting some heavy downfalls of rain coming through. So Portsmouth up to Bristol, up towards Fall River. You guys have this moving towards you as you're heading to 195. Over in Providence, getting a little bit of showers starting to pop up. So you can kind of see exactly just where it's at. Cranston area, moving up towards the south end of Providence, mostly staying to the east side of 95 right now. So we'll be tracking these as we get through the morning hours. But here's what it looks like outside. So we can kind of see some of that rain coming down on half the city. So depending on where you're at, depends on whether or not you're getting some of those little light showers right now that's moving through the area. Providence is 69 degrees. Winds are out of the southeast at about 9 miles an hour. So temperatures right now as you're waking up, not too bad. We're in the upper 60s. Some of us already in the 70s this morning as we get our day started. And so as we start to move in with the future cast, we see a lot of those showers just lift off to the north. But we'll still keep some of that unstable air around. So we'll get a lot of cloudy skies. We'll get some times where the sun comes out and parts ways, just kind of like what we saw yesterday, except for we could be left over with some of these little spotty pop-up showers here and there as we head through the day today. So as we start to move through, we could expect those temperatures topping out in those mid 70s, upper 70s today. A few of us will hit the 80-degree mark, but we'll keep the winds out of the south about 5 to 15 miles an hour today. So for tomorrow, not so bad. It's going to start to clear up. We've got a couple little scattered showers around the area, so it won't be too bad. So it won't be like what we're seeing right now. So it seems to be like we're going to start to get into a better pattern as we head towards the weekend. But here's a look at the 7-day forecast. So we see those temperatures on the rise. We're going to keep the humidity with us here. Friday looking not bad, 84 degrees. By the time we get into Saturday, we do have those showers moving through. So we're going to keep some of the scattered showers in this forecast, but I think by the time we get to Tuesday, we're looking at mostly dry for our holiday.
All right, thanks, Skylar. And checking in on some. Hey, Skylar.
Yeah, you know, this radar is getting a little active right now this morning as we're waking up. So here's a look at what we're tracking right now. So we've got some heavier little thunderstorms popping up here. This one's heading towards Buzzard Bay. These are moving at about 35 miles an hour. So they are moving a little quick this morning. So as we zoom in a little bit closer, you can kind of see just staying to the east of New Bedford as this one tracks across, like I said, through Buzzards Bay. So if you're getting up this morning, you're making your commute, give yourself a little time. If you're heading from the south, maybe heading towards the north. So future cast as we start to get into the 8 o'clock hour, you can just kind of see what's left over here. A lot of it moving up towards the Boston area. So this really starts to push off and push out of here after 10 a.m. We'll be left with a couple of scattered showers here and there lingering throughout the day today. See those temperatures getting up into the 70s. Here's a look at the 7-day forecast. So for today, we'll be up in those upper 70s. Some of us will hit 80 degrees today, especially around Taunton and Norwood. Tomorrow, warming up even more so. We'll keep the humidity in play. By the time we get into Friday, we're going to stay mostly dry with those mid 80s. By Saturday, we got some of those showers popping back up into the forecast, upper 70s around the area. And for Sunday, some scattered rain, thunderstorms. But as we get the first part of the week started off, looks like we're going to start to clear up a bit and be dry for the holiday.
Thanks, Skylar. It's 5:27 in Spindler. Skylar, a little bit of clearer than what it was yesterday waking up this morning.
Well, I don't know. Would you call it clear? We're starting to get some of these showers moving back in. So, yeah, we had a lot of thunderstorms yesterday morning. They started much earlier yesterday morning. So, yes, correct, Yanni. A little bit clearer than what we saw as we started off yesterday. However, we do have these storms starting to move into the area from the south. So here's a look at the radar right now. You can kind of see this storm is moving about 35 miles an hour. So a lot of lightning in this. So we've got those thunderstorms moving through the area. Really want to zoom in over here on this one here. This one's moving across towards Buzzards Bay, over towards New Bedford, moving up towards 6. So we got a couple of these moving up into the area, especially if you're going to be doing your morning commute, depending on where you're located at. Give yourself a little extra time with these heavier rainfalls and the lightning that's out there. So yeah, like I said, give yourself a little bit more time on the roadways. Looking at this other one that's moving through towards North Kingstown, across Newport right now. That one's tracking up towards Fall River. And this one's going to graze the south inside of Providence area as we kind of zoom in over here. So Providence catching a little bit of rain showers up by Pawtucket, a little cell here. But again, if you're making your commute up this morning, maybe up towards Attleboro, Taunton, you guys are going to be getting those storms here next. So here's a look outside Providence. 69 degrees, winds are at the south-southeast at 7 miles an hour. And we can see a few raindrops here on the camera. So depending on where you're at in Providence, you're probably dry, but a lot of you guys on the south and the east side of Providence catching some of those rain showers right now. Temperatures as you're waking up, we're in those upper 60s and 70s. As we're getting out the door, it's humid this morning. So we are going to be keeping that humidity with us as we head through today and tomorrow. Now, as we get through today, we'll see some of these scattered showers because we have a lot of instability in the atmosphere. As you can tell, we got these thunderstorms moving through right now. But as we get into the afternoon, we're going to keep most of the clouds around with us for the day. We'll get some peaks of sunshine here and there, warming up into those mid-70s around the area. But by the afternoon and evening hours, we have some storms that's going to try to make the way into the area. We'll keep watching that, so don't be surprised if you get a pop-up thunderstorm and shower as we head into the afternoon hours. So temperature-wise today, we'll keep us in the 70s around the area. Winds will stay out of the south about 15 miles an hour. If you're planning on heading to Block Island today, here's your forecast to get you through the day. It'll keep you in the upper 60s, hitting 70 degrees by lunchtime. You can see the rain, the winds picking up a bit, staying cloudy until we get a break of sunshine there at about the lunch hour. But we'll keep the clouds in play for the area for the day. I'll have more details on your forecast coming up here in just a moment.
Thanks, Skyler. We'll be sure to check back in. We want to start this half hour. Raindrops starting to fall over Providence this morning. Want to get you a look at that forecast on the 6th with meteorologist Skyler Spindler. Hey, Skyler.
Yeah, you know, I'm over here running around trying to get all of our views changed here on the satellite and radar because there's a lot going on outside this morning. So here we're looking at the last couple of hours, watching these thunderstorms move into the area. So I want to zoom in on a couple of areas. So again, we've got a lot of thunderstorms, a lot of lightning strikes. You can just kind of see how large this is covering the area. It's moving at about 35 miles an hour. So right now we got a little cell moving over East Providence. So that's going to be crossing up towards 95. And then as we start to head over towards, maybe if you're doing the commute up towards Taunton, maybe up to 495 area, you can kind of just see this other larger cell that's pushing across as this is moving, like I said, about 35 miles an hour. So if you're heading out this morning to do your commute, give yourself a little extra time on the roads just because of these thunderstorms, and we've got some heavier downpours in some of those areas. So that could make visibility a little tough as that rain is coming down, and the roads are a little slick as well. So we're looking at the surface map. So you kind of see here this outlined area I put up. This is a lot of instability. This is going to be with us through the day today and even into tomorrow, and that's just helping produce some of this inflow. We've got this southerly flow, we've got the instability, and we're getting these thunderstorms that are popping up, and so we should start to see a bit of a change as we head in towards the end of the weekend. But again, we're just going to be keeping this around with us for the next couple of days. So as we get to about the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to see some more of those scattered showers. A couple of us might catch a little thunderstorm or two that pops through the area. We'll get up into those mid-70s today. And again, we've got some more thunderstorms that'll be popping up to the west of us. Now, whether they really get into our area later on, we could see a couple of isolated thunderstorms as we head into the evening hours. Wouldn't be surprised, especially a little bit more to the west of Providence. So forecasted highs for the day, we're looking at those upper 70s, some low 80s around the area. Not too bad, but New Bedford here is your 4-day forecast. So for today, expect those morning thunderstorms to be passing through your area right now. We're going to be about 75 today. Moving into Thursday, it'll be partly cloudy, so not bad. So tomorrow's looking a lot better. 79, humidity will be around for you. But for Friday, we're clearing a bit. So we'll be about 80 degrees, partly cloudy skies. But then Saturday morning, we have those morning showers moving in, 78. I'm going to have more details on the full 7-day forecast here in just a moment.
Thanks, Skyler. We want to turn now to an ABC6 News follow-ups, and we're now learning more about alleged attacks on women dating back years, all linked to a suspected serial rapist with
Looking outside at our satellite and radar here, where over the last couple of hours we've been watching the storms moving into the area. And we're starting to get a lot of that thunderstorm activity here on the map. And it's really starting to impact our commute this morning. So again, this is over the last 6 hours. But as we go into looking at some of these cells that are just moving across Newport and pretty much impacting your commute right now, we have one that's crossing over Buzzards Bay just to the east of New Bedford. So Looking at our commute this morning, 195. If you are traveling along here, look at where these storms are. These are moving at about 35 miles an hour. So give yourself a little time on the road this morning as these storms start to cross over here. That's going to be, you can see some of these heavier downpours outside. So we got some of these heavier cells moving across even 495. So if you're heading up towards Boston this morning, you're going to have some of these areas being impacted. Now this one is a little bit heavier, so we're seeing this one cross over into Buzzards Bay heading towards Wareham right now. So again, just give yourself a little time. There's a lot going on outside as we're heading out the door and getting going. So these are going to be with us for the next couple of hours. So most of this should be out of here by 8 o'clock in the morning. Looking over in Providence area. Again, we have another one that's starting to get a little heavy around Cranston, moving across ways 95. So like I said, heading out the door, give yourself a little time this morning. Some of those downpours are pretty heavy. Here's the view outside. So we do have those rain clouds moving in, the lightning taking off. So it's 68 degrees. Winds are out of the southeast at about 9 miles an hour. And like I said, the storm's moving pretty quickly at about 35 miles an hour, but it's kind of large. So it's going to take a little bit for it to get through. So it should be with us till about that 8 o'clock hour through our commute. So temperatures as you're waking up, we're in the upper 60s and 70s this morning. 73 in Norwood. If you're heading up to Boston, it's 69 degrees. So here's what we're expecting. So by 10 a.m., most of the heavy stuff will be much further to the north of us. We'll be left with some of these scattered showers around the area. So expect some of that to be with us. We'll clear up a little bit. We'll keep the clouds around. We might get some peaks of sunshine here and there, almost like what we saw yesterday. Wouldn't be surprised if we catch a little pop-up stray thunderstorm here and there as we start to especially head into the later evening hours. So as we get through the day today, we'll keep the temperatures mostly in the 70s, just kind of like what we saw yesterday, mid to upper 70s around the area, those scattered showers and thunderstorms here and there. But for the futurecast moving into tomorrow, not so bad. We're starting to clear up a bit. So we'll get a couple of scattered showers here and there, a little like popcorn just popping up all over the place. So nothing that will totally ruin your day tomorrow. Humidity levels are on the rise. They're staying with us today and tomorrow. We'll be in the 80s by tomorrow. Moving into Friday, mid 80s, mostly dry. By the time we get into Saturday, we do have some showers that are going to be moving into the area. Now it's looking like it's in the evening and overnight hours with that shower activity, keeping the upper 70s. Sunday, just some scattered rain and thunderstorms for the area, mid 70s. But here's the good news. By Monday, we're starting to clear up. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed on this, Yanni, that by Monday, we're going to see a lot more clearing because Tuesday is looking dry.
And all the parades, hopefully Tuesday, going to be beautiful weather.
I know. Let's, yes, we'll hope that we'll keep our fingers crossed that we're going to start to head into more of a stable weather pattern. We're just stuck in this rut right now, and it's just, we got to get it out of here. So hopefully for 4th of July and for our parades, we'll have good parade weather. So
Perfect.
We're hoping.
Perfect. Well, checking in now with more national headlines at
Well, the morning storms will be impacting your commute. You can kind of see here if you're heading up 95, a lot of these storms are just tracking just to the northeast at about 35 miles an hour. We got some heavier downpours, some of these heavier cells with some lightning activity. So as we start to head through the day, that will stick with us. This will move out later on. More Good Morning Providence. We'll be back here after the break.
Starting to come down, those thunderstorms going all across the area. Skylar Spindler going to have a look at your forecast in just a moment. But first, here's some of the top stories you're going to see on Good Morning Providence. Dramatic footage. Cranston police released body cam video from their confrontation with a man accused of shooting and killing his mother and neighbor. What it shows. Plus, more charges. The additional legal trouble Rhode Island State Senator Josh Miller could face after Cranston police booked him for keying a car at Garden City. And kicking off the summer on the pavement, we'll show you the start of the Rhode Island Midnight Basketball League, why sponsors call it a unique community approach. Well, good morning and thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Yanni Tregelis. Tara Linazak is off today. It is Wednesday, June 28th, and at 6 o'clock, that rain and those thunderstorms starting to come down all across the area. We want to get you right over to meteorologist Skylar Spindler with a look at your first forecast. Good morning, Skylar.
Good morning. It is busy outside, so we've been watching these storms move across the area this morning. So you see on that satellite and radar loop how they're starting to move in. Now they're over the entire area. This is going to be impacting our commute as you're heading out the door. So give yourself some extra time. We're having a lot of lightning, a lot of heavy downpours. As you saw in the tower cam a moment ago, we really got some of these heavier ones coming down. So here's a look at some heavier cell. These are moving about 35 miles an hour. So depending on where you're heading out the door this morning, this one is a little bit heavier than some of the other ones. It's moving northeast. So if you're heading up towards Taunton, towards the 495, again, we've got all of these storms that are going to be moving up and across. So again, like you can see how large these systems are. So again, heavier downpours. If you're heading up to Boston this morning, we have a cell here that's going to be moving up towards the Norwood area, towards up 95. Towards 93. So if you're doing that commute into Boston, give yourself a little extra time, get out the door, get going, and give yourself some space. There is one system that's moving through the Providence area around Pawtucket right now. Again, that's tracking right up 95, so that's going to be impacting your commute. 295, we got another one out towards Smithfield and even out towards the Gloucester area, just south of Burryville. So again, just give yourself a little extra time if you guys are starting to head out and get anywhere. So Providence is sitting at 68 degrees. Winds are out of the south-southeast at about 10 miles an hour. And the temperatures right now, upper 60s, some low 70s. Perfect thunderstorm weather, but this should be moving out in the next couple of hours. So like I said, they're moving about 35 miles an hour. So by the time we get to the 10 o'clock hour, that should be cleared way past Boston. We'll just be left with some of these scattered showers around the area. A few thunderstorms pop in and over to the Cape area, but keeping those temperatures in those upper 70s for our high today, mid to upper 70s today. Now we are tracking some storms that are going to be trying to get across to the area. So we could see a pop-up thunderstorm or shower as we head into the later evening hours, but just keep that in mind. Today will be mostly cloudy. We'll get some pockets of sunshine here and there. Keep the winds out of the south about 5 to 15 miles an hour. If you plan on heading to Block Island via the ferry, here's a look at the temperatures as you start to get through the afternoon. So you can see those upper 60s getting into the 70s by about 2 o'clock. And you see a lot of those clouds just taking over the sky today. I'm going to have more details on your forecast coming up in just a moment.
All right, thanks, Skyler. We want to check in now on today's headlines. We are going to check in on traffic. Those raindrops falling here over Providence and Skyler, really rain falling all over the state this morning and into southeastern Massachusetts.
Yeah, it is messy on the radar right now. So some accidents being reported. Like I said, give yourself some extra time on the roads. We've got some heavy downpours coming down with this as this is moving onshore. You know, it's coming in from the south and it's picking up that moisture from the ocean that kind of just gives that extra heavier rain just to fall. So we're looking over here at 195. So there's been an accident reported in this area on the westbound side. It's moving across Fall River, so this is a pretty heavy cell with a lot of heavy downpours moving in. Any of this red area, you just see those rainfall rates just moving down pretty quickly. Looking over in the Providence area, just moving north, say Pawtucket, up by Lincoln, heading north on 95. Again, we've got more of these rounds of storms moving through, so that's going to impact your commute there on 95. Even out west a little bit, we have another storm cell that's tracking over. So here's another one moving up towards Norwood. So if you're heading up towards the 93, you're going to be catching some of this if you have to do 95 up to 93 and cross over, maybe heading up towards Quincy. So again, if you're heading up this direction, give yourself some time this morning. And then we're looking out towards the south area. So Falmouth area, Wareham, you guys have another system, Plymouth, that's moving across that direction. These are moving about 35 miles an hour. So they are moving fast, but they do have a lot of heavy downpours coming with it. So just give yourself some time this morning. So scattered showers. We'll have these thunderstorms with us this morning for the next, say, hour or two. This will impact our commute as we get through the day. By 10 o'clock, a lot of this will move out. We'll be left with some of those scattered showers. And then afterwards, we'll have mostly cloudy skies for the day. Temperature wise, we'll be in those mid to upper 70s around the area. A few of us say Norwood, you get about 80 degrees today. We'll keep the winds out of the south about 5 to 15 miles an hour. New Bedford, here's a look at your 4-day forecast. So humidity levels on the rise for today and tomorrow. Get a bit of a break by the time we get into Friday. You'll be in those upper 70s there. Saturday, 77 with those morning showers moving into the forecast. I'm going to have your full 7-day forecast coming up after the break.
Spindler.
Well, it's a busy morning outside as we have these thunderstorms moving through the area. You can see on the satellite radar loop over the last 6 hours, we stayed pretty clear in the overnight, and then this quickly started to move onshore just in the last hour or so, really getting a lot of the area. So here's a live look at the radar of what we're looking at, how large this is covering all of our major roadways as you're doing any commutes this morning. So if we're looking out towards Newport, you're finally catching the tail end of this. You're starting to clear up here shortly, North Kingstown as well. As you're moving up the 95 into Providence, that's impacting your commute all the way up 95. So you can kind of see how this storm is tracking. So if you are on the east side of Providence, really catching some of the heavier rain. The biggest concern right now is around the Fall River area as we have a little more of these red cells moving across the 195. Got some accidents reported out there as well on the westbound side. So give yourself some more time this morning as you're making it out the door. We've got a lot of rain coming down. This red area that you see here, this is just heavier rainfall rates. So that means you're going to have some heavier downpours as you're making it out the door. So give yourself some time on the roads as you're getting out there. Just give yourself some space as well. Looking out over on the south coast area, moving across Buzzards Bay, you can kind of see this other system moving across Falmouth, that area, Wareham, up towards that direction, 495. That's going to be moving into Boston. So as you're heading up on 95, doing your commute, you can kind of see Attleboro up 95, just kind of grazing 95. But if you're heading up towards 93, cutting around to Quincy, again, you're going to have some issues as you're getting up that direction as these storms are tracking north. And again, they're moving about 35 miles an hour. So this is going to be with us for our entire commute this morning. So outside, you can see that rain coming down outside in Providence. 68 degrees with the winds out of the south-southeast at 9 miles an hour. Those temperatures as we're waking up, nice warm temperatures for thunderstorms. So we're in those upper 60s, some low 70s outside, 73 in Norwood. So as these storms are tracking north, you probably get a little extra activity as you hit towards Norwood just because the temperatures are warmer there. So that just kind of helps aid in that. And we've got a lot of extra moisture, especially as this thing is coming in off the south. It's picking up a lot of that ocean moisture, and that helps build those rain clouds. And that's why we're getting a lot of that extra rain coming down right now. So as we move into about the 10 o'clock hour, we're going to see a lot of just scattered showers left over from this. Now, by the time we get into the afternoon, could see a couple pop-up thunderstorms here and there just because we have an unstable atmosphere. So do not be surprised if you catch a shower or a thunderstorm, a little isolated thunderstorm as we head into the afternoon hours. Temperature-wise, we'll be in those mid to upper 70s. A few of us will hit 80 degrees today. But future cast as we move into tomorrow, not so bad. We're going to see some pop-up showers around the area. So we're going to start to get a little more stable by the time we head into the weekend. So tomorrow, not looking at anything severe, just a couple pop-up showers here and there. But for the 7-day forecast, humidity levels on the rise for today and tomorrow. See those temperatures rising up. We'll have a couple of those isolated showers and thunderstorms here and there. Tomorrow, again, not so bad like what we're looking at today. But moving into Friday, we'll see the temperatures warming up. Saturday, we're going to see some more of those scattered showers in the evening hours and then into the overnight for Sunday. Right now, it's looking like Tuesday is going to be mostly dry. So that's something to look forward to for our holiday.
Checking back in on some congestion in Fall River at the 195. Tracker meteorologist Skylar Spindler with a look at your forecast on the 6.
These storms are moving across the area, of course, at the wrong time because we're all making our commute this morning as we're getting up and out the door. If you're heading to Boston, again, you can see how many of our roadways are impacted as this storm is moving across. Some of it's starting to die down a bit. So if you're down south, maybe by South Kingstown and north of North Kingstown, that's already moved out of your area, moving up towards Warwick and up to the Providence area. This one's a little bit lighter, but still moving up the 95. We're looking at the Fall River area. This is a really heavy concern. It's starting to finally die down a bit as this starts to cross over 195. So the heavier parts is just north of the 195 now, but a lot of heavy downpours with this. That's going to cause extra delays. So give yourself a little time outside. And again, you can kind of see it's starting to turn a little more yellow, but these red spots, this is where it's much heavier. So if you're heading up 195 or you're moving across Buzzards Bay and even towards, if you're moving towards Boston this morning, so you can kind of see here north of Attleboro up 95. You're starting to get that rain that's crossing the 93 for heading up towards Quincy and that direction into the south end of Boston. So just give yourself extra time on the road today. 7-day forecast warming up. We're going to keep the humidity with us for today and tomorrow. And then by the time we get into Friday, we're looking at those mid 80s, mostly dry.
All around the area, already impacting commutes this morning. We want to get you right over to meteorologist Skylar Spindler with what you need to know as you head out the door this morning. Good morning, Skylar.
Good morning. It's a bit messy outside. It's starting to die down a little bit. Don't let that catch you off guard. We still have some of this red area. That's heavier activity, heavier downpours that's going on. So really right now we're really concerned with the 195 area. It's really started to cross over that direction. It's really heading up towards 495, and as you're heading up north 95, not too bad up the 95 here. You can kind of see a little bit more orange north of Attleboro, and as you're starting to get into the Boston area, some starting to move towards the Norwood area. If you're hooking on over to the 93 and moving up towards Quincy and up that direction into Boston, again, you're going to be impacted by some of that. So we're looking across Buzzards Bay. A lot of that already moved across. Now some of the heavier stuff really just kind of moving offshore now up by Plymouth. So this is going to be with us for the next hour or two, especially. It's moving about 35 miles an hour, but it is giving us some visibility concerns outside. So you can kind of see Providence is about 3 miles visibility. So when you have that heavy rainfall coming down and we have what's going on outside, it's just going to impact visibility. So give yourself a little more time on the road this morning. New Bedford, you got about 1.5 miles visibility. So again, some of those heavier storms moving across is really impacting your view on the road. So if you're heading maybe to Block Island today, here's your hour-by-hour forecast. We'll keep the clouds with us for much of the day. We'll finally get into the 70s about lunchtime. And by the time we get into 3 o'clock, we'll stay 70 degrees. I'll have more details on your forecast coming up in just a moment.
Taking another look at the came at 6:36. Those raindrops falling over Providence, but really rain falling all across the area, and those thunderstorms really starting to get pretty heavy this morning. Want to get you back with meteorologist Skylar Spindler with a look at your forecast on the 6th. Hey, Skylar.
Hey, you know, the thunderstorms have been very heavy this morning. It's starting to lose a little bit of that energy, but do not be caught off guard here because we still have some of these areas that are a little bit heavier. So we're now seeing them, we've crossed mostly 195. So you can kind of see some of these heavier areas heading up towards 44, 495 in that direction up towards Boston. Now, if you're in Providence, it's a little better. So we have the rain coming down. It's a little bit lighter than what we've seen over the last hour or so. But you can look up 95. A little bit better as you're heading north up towards Boston. So up Attleboro, a little bit heavier here up towards Mansfield and up to Norwood area. You can kind of see where these are tracking. They're just tracking up towards 95, up 93 right now. So again, if you're moving into Boston for your commute to work this morning, up towards Quincy, up that direction, again, you can kind of see just where these storms are at. And again, these are tracking about 35 miles an hour. So this will be crossing into Boston. So Boston's about to start to get some of these downpours as well. But Looking over towards the south coast and Buzzards Bay, most of that's moved across. So New Bedford catching just the tail end of what's left over. But again, these are moving up and towards and outward. So out towards the east, which is good news. So they should be pushing off in the next hour or so. But visibility is a bit of a concern this morning. 3 miles visibility in Providence, 1.5 miles in New Bedford. So again, we got a couple areas where it's a bit of a concern. That's especially where those storms are heavier right now. Again, the visibility is going to get worse as we start to head north in the next hour, just because these storms are moving that direction. So what you can expect for the rest of the day, temperatures in those mid to upper 70s around the area. Those scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be with us through the morning hours. Those do push on out, leaving just some leftover scattered showers here and there. Will be mostly cloudy for the day today. New Bedford, here's a look at your 4-day forecast. So just know we got those storms moving out here in the next couple hours. You'll be in the mid 70s today for tomorrow, upper 70s, partly cloudy skies for tomorrow and Friday, moving into Saturday morning. Showers, 77. I'm going to have more details on your 7-day forecast coming up after this.
Taking a look at some travel times for you this morning. 195 westbound from the state line to 95 split, looking at a 3-minute ride there, and things starting to slow down on.
We've been tracking these thunderstorms that have been moving through the area this morning, and so we're finally starting to see them start to dwindle down a bit, though we still have some heavier activity, some downpours. They're starting to clear, so if you're in the New Bedford area, 195, those have already crossed over, so you're clearing up there, just left with a couple of spotty showers. One small area with a little bit of heavy downpours heading towards Wareham, but looking over towards the Providence area and north here, you kind of see the cell moving up towards 495 across Taunton, that area. If you're in Providence, moving up 95, just hitting some of those rain showers. So if you are making that commute up the 95 up towards, say, Norwood area, we do have some of these heavier cells crossing over 93. And if you're moving up towards, say, Quincy area and up into Boston, there's some heavier downpours there as well with those thunderstorms moving into the area. So now this is starting to move into Boston. So if you are heading up to that area for your commute this morning, give yourself some more time on the roads because this is tracking in. So this is going to take about 2 hours to get across the area. So that is impacting our visibility outside. So we're looking at about 1.5 miles visibility in New Bedford. So some areas seeing about 3 miles visibility, especially if you're heading up 95. So again, give yourself a little extra time on the roadways as you're heading out the door. So looking outside downtown Providence, we can see the rain coming down. It's definitely lightened up a bit over the last hour or so. We saw those heavier downpours around the 5 and early 6 o'clock hour. But now as we're heading into that 7 o'clock hour, it's much better as this is tracking off to the northeast. So temperatures right now, we're in those upper 60s, some 70, 73 in Norwood right now. It's 67 in Newport. So as we get into about the 9 o'clock hour, we see a lot of those storms finally getting through the Boston area. You see a few left over. So it'll take a little bit longer to get out of that area. For us in this area, not so bad. A couple of scattered showers left over lingering from the system. But by the time we get into the 4 o'clock hour today, I'll see those temperatures in those mid and upper 70s. Norwood seeing 78. So here's the thing. We've got more scattered showers and thunderstorms out to the west of us. As they get into our area, some will. So we could see some isolated pop-up thunderstorms as we head into the later afternoon hours. So just expect some more scattered showers and thunderstorms later on into the day. We're going to stay mostly cloudy, but we'll get a couple of peaks of sunshine here and there throughout the day, keeping those temperatures in those mid 70s, upper 70s, and like I said, Norwood getting into about the 80-degree mark today. Futurecast for tomorrow, not too bad. We'll see some of these scattered pop-up showers. It's gonna be like popcorn, just popping up here and there. Nothing crazy like what we're seeing right now. So we'll just see a couple scattered showers in the area. We're just stuck in this pattern for the next couple of days. We're hoping to turn a corner by the time we get towards the end of this forecast, but you'll see those temperatures warming up. We'll keep a lot of these scattered showers in the forecast for us. By the time we get into the weekend, Sunday looks like we're gonna have a lot of scattered rain and thunderstorms. Monday looks like we're clearing up right now. We're going to still be humid. Unfortunately, these humidity levels have been really sticking with us and being a little yucky right now. But by the time we get into Tuesday for the parades and all the activities going on, we're looking at being mostly dry right now, though I know that's 7 days out, so sometimes it's New England. And it's tough to tell, especially when we have this crazy, unpredictable weather that we're seeing right now.
Well, I think you've been saying all week, all the days like leading up over the next few days, not going to be washouts. So still can maybe get out, enjoy, the 4th of July weekend, and then things really looking well for the 4th, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these are not washout days. So luckily for today, we're getting the bulk of our rain right now, even though it is during our commute. But this afternoon, looking a little better. It'll be cloudy though. So yes, you're right.
Perfect. Well, that's good to hear at least.
The glass
it's not going to be
full on this show.
Exactly. Always, always.
Yeah.
Well, check this out. GMA kicking off a 3-day series of how you can find unclaimed money that you may be owed. And we're hearing from Massachusetts State Treasurer as well as part of it. ABC's Will Reeve has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, get ready for our 3-day.
Well, here is meteorologist Skylar Spindler. Hey, Skylar.
Yeah, we've been tracking these storms all morning. You can see they're starting to finally move north. They've cleared pretty much 195. So now we're looking more of Taunton moving up 95, heading up towards Boston, but kind of taking a better view of that 195 area. Just some showers moving across Fall River. Same thing for you. Some lighter rain over in Providence. Just some lighter rain coming down now. If you're heading up 95 towards Attleboro and then north up towards Norwood, again, you can kind of see some of these heavier cells just crossing over 93. So if you're going up towards maybe Quincy and up into Boston, that direction, we got some heavier rain moving up. So thunderstorms moving up into the Boston area. Now, this is going to be with us for the next couple of hours, so give yourself a little extra time on the road. For today, just expect those scattered showers, these thunderstorms this morning. We could have a couple of pop-up thunderstorms in the afternoon. We'll stay mostly cloudy with the little peaks of sunshine here and there with those mid 70s, upper 70s around the area. And then for tomorrow, just some pop-up showers here and there. 7-day forecast, you can see temperatures warming up. We'll keep the humidity with us for today and tomorrow, and just be safe today out on the roads.
Thanks, Skylar, and thank you for watching. That's all for now. Good Morning America coming up next, and be sure to join us for ABC6 News at noon, and for the latest news, traffic, and weather anytime, abc6.com is always on. Have a great day.
Is Southern New England's trusted news source, ABC6 News at noon.
Well, good afternoon, and thanks for joining us today for ABC6 News at noon. I'm Yanni Tregelis. We want to get you started with the weather and a look outside. It's been an up and down day all day today. Some rain, Skylar, some thunderstorms throughout the morning. Just kind of a toss and turn day, right?
Yeah, we started off with those heavy thunderstorms this morning, and it's still a little dreary out. We've got a lot of cloud coverage in place, and if we take a look at our loop of that satellite and radar over the last couple of hours, so we had all those heavier storms moving in the overnight hours. And that finally moved out right around that rush hour traffic time. So a lot of us got caught in that rain as we were heading to work this morning. But here's a look at the live radar. Just some light showers popping up on the radar. We do have some stuff that's starting to build up much to the west of us. And as we start to head into the afternoon today, we're going to probably see a little bit more of that firing up to the west. So right now, looking outside, looks a little dreary, a little cloudy, a little bit of rain coming down in some areas right now in Providence. It's 71 degrees. The winds are out of the southeast at about 10 miles an hour. So those temperatures right now, we're sitting in the 70s pretty much all around the area. 69 degrees in Newport, 70 degrees in Westerly. So as we start to move through the afternoon, we still have a lot of this instability in the atmosphere. A lot of just pop-up showers are going to be heading into the area. So you can kind of see out to the west of us, those lines building up as it starts to move into the area. We'll warm up. Expect some of this to try to get into the area as we head into the later hours. So today we're just going to stay mostly cloudy, some of those scattered showers. Keeping those temperatures in the mid 70s, upper 70s. A few of us maybe even hitting 80 degrees. I'm going to have more details on your 7-day forecast coming up in just a moment.
All right, thanks, Skylar. We'll be sure to check back in. Our top story today at noon, Cranston police p.m. The rain date is July 5th, although sound will still be heard. It will be much lower from a distance. Well, still to come on ABC6 News at noon. Skylar with a look at your full forecast. Skylar?
Yeah, we've had a lot of those thunderstorms and showers move through the area. We're starting to clear up, but we're leaving a lot of the clouds behind. I'm going to have more details on your full forecast coming up after the break.
Storm Tracker meteorologist Skylar Spindler.
We had a lot of rain moving through in the overnight hours and then early this morning. So as you're getting up about 6 a.m., it was really coming down outside. Right now, looking at the radar, not a lot going on. Pretty quiet right now. A lot of clouds in place. A couple of little scattered showers around the area. We're expecting an area to start to fire up just west to us. And as we start to head into the afternoon today, we will expect to see some of those try to get into our area. So as we're looking outside right now, again, we see a lot of the cloud coverage out there. A couple of little spotty showers coming down here and there. Not a whole lot. 71 degrees in Providence. Winds are out of the southeast at about 10 miles an hour. So temperatures right now, we're warming up. We're going to be in those mid 70s today. You can see around the area, all of us sitting right about the same temperature, 70 to 71, 72 degrees. It's 70 in Westerly right now and 75 in Martha's Vineyard. So what's going on outside? Well, it's pretty unstable. We have a lot of unstable air here. And so as this is swirling around, it's pulling in a lot of the moisture from the Atlantic, and that's giving us those rain showers. So you can kind of see this here with that low pressure system. So this is pretty much, we're stuck in this pattern right now. So until we get into the next couple of days, when that high pressure finally starts to move in, that's when we'll start to finally see that clearing. But for today, moving into the afternoon, we're going to keep a lot of the cloud coverage around. Some of us will get some of those clouds parting ways and get some sunshine out there, but a lot of us are just going to see mostly cloudy skies for the day. So again, we'll have a lot of storms firing up to the west. This is going to try to push across. It's going to struggle to get into the Providence area, but again, we could be seeing some of those scattered thunderstorms and showers later on this afternoon. As we move into tomorrow, not so bad. We'll see a couple little spotty showers popping up like popcorn, just popping up here and there and all around the area for tomorrow. So really just not a whole lot. We'll see more sunny skies for tomorrow than what we've seen. As we move into our 7-day forecast, here's what we're going to be expecting. So it's pretty humid. So we're going to stay humid today and tomorrow. We'll see those temperatures start to rise. By the time we get into Friday, we're going to be in those mid 80s. So we'll see everything starting to warm up a bit. Saturday, we do have more showers coming in. So we're trying to get rid of this unstable air mass, get it out of the area, and we'll see those temperatures in those mid 70s or so. Monday is looking to be like it's going to clear up. So right now we have some rain and whatnot coming in on Sunday. Monday is looking like it's clearing. It's pushing out just in time for the parades and any activities that we have going on for Tuesday.
Kind of seems like tomorrow might be the winner for the weekend before maybe, or Saturday.
Tomorrow might be okay. I mean, we'll just have some hit or miss showers, so just be aware. So tomorrow will be all right, I think, minus the hit or miss showers. If you can deal with it, we're not going to melt, right?
Yep.
So we should be okay. But yeah, it's a little tough on this one as to what our pick is going to be, because each day looks like it's got a little bit of rain coming in. So,
is there any pick of the weekend
Nope.
for you? Nothing?
No, not right now.
Well, at least
Too
it's looking like next week is going to clear up a little bit for the actual
here we
4th,
go.
maybe.
We're looking towards the end of this forecast now.
Seems like that's a weekly thing every week.
This has been a weekly thing for us here, is that we seem to be looking at what's around the corner, like what we can't see on that 7-day forecast.
We're always looking on the brighter side here at ABC6.
Absolutely, yeah. We've just got to keep looking ahead, right?
All right, thanks so much, Skylar. Well, still to come on ABC6 News at noon, a new basketball league aiming to bring together cops and the community is coming to Warwick this summer. More on the Midnight Basketball League coming up after the break.